everybody. Welcome to the Credence of Bishop Show. Right on time, as always, 8:30-ish or 8:39, whatever. How's everybody doing? Good?
Okay, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Ah.
Can't complain. Actually, I'm pretty good. You guys will laugh about what I'm going to be doing the minute we get done with this, but I am going to run back to the truck stop and buy more shirts today.
You hold on. You have to go to the truck stop to buy more shirts. Yes, I'm listening.
So we're walking out of Denny's. Walking out of Denny's, and on this wall, the Denny's is attached to a pilot, Flying J, right? On this wall.
I have a question real quick. Is this the Denny's that you pitched a fit about? I don't know if it was on the show or off the show about.
Yeah, because I had to wear a mask. I had to wear a mask walking in.
Oh, so you don't have to do that no more.
I know we gave in. Because now, like they just did
conformed.
They just listen. South Carolina hasn't had any, laws.
No cases.
Sure.
Any laws about the mask thing, and I'm sorry. I find that ridiculous to walk into. It's a 6, 7, 8 foot walk in, right?
But you're
and then 10-foot walk to your table where you're not going to have a mask on. I'm sorry, it's stupid. I hate it. Yeah, but now they've called it starting Friday is a mandatory mask. So we're just like you people in North Carolina.
I just like that a few days ago to go into Denny's. You were, Mel Gibson in The Patriot, and now you're like, all right, fine.
Well, you got to
understand. I got to get my Tutti Frutti pancakes,
fresh and fruity, yeah.
Which I totally understand. Oh, I wear a mask all day. It's totally fine. You're okay.
Can't do it. Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea what my breath smells like?
Listen, that you did that to yourself. Now you have to go through what we all had to go through being around.
Creed's gonna cut a hole in the mask so a cigarette can hang out of his mouth still.
Right, exactly.
You're leaving
Denny's has added back the cowboy chop steak again for $8. So I'll be there lots, mask or not. I'm gonna go for that. No, but really, I'm gonna run down. So there's all these boxes along the wall of Gildan work shirts, like I have on right here. They were six for $12. They're just blank shirts. So I got to go grab another 6 at least,
So you
before they're all gone.
I like that you're not only did you not want to go there because you had to wear a mask. Now you're going back to shop for clothing.
Oh no, you don't have to wear a mask
against the Denny's wall.
You don't have to wear a mask inside the truck stop for now, anyways.
Oh,
that's the thing that you got to understand. Listen, you can walk around in the truck stop and go get your hot dogs and go get whatever you want at the truck stop. And you can walk around the entire thing. No problem. You walk into the Denny's to go sit, you need your mask. And that's what I don't know. I'm one of those people.
Yeah. Well, listen, they don't want trash in Denny's. So
yeah, well, now they're gonna have a masked piece of trash walking in there. Whatever.
Listen, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for finally wearing the mask. It's I
wore the mask for 2 seconds. I walked in, sat, mask off, mask on, walk out the door into the truck stop, mask off. But I mean that's gonna change because they just it's an
aerosol disease. And we're all probably gonna get it. So is what it is.
Is what it is. Mike Herman from Retrosoft. We're going to be talking to him coming up here in a little bit. That's why we're on tonight. That's why we're live on what the hell's today? Monday. Retromania Wrestling. And by the way, I've only seen a couple of pictures of this thing, and it looks freaking awesome.
Well, the great thing is, basically, this is a sequel to the machine you blew up in your house.
Is it? Because it looks very similar. So
it's a sequel to that.
We'll have to tell a little bit about that story. So Mike Herman, we're going to be talking to him in a few minutes. I have to ask Knox a very serious question. What you posted in the group, did you really think that's a new video? Be honest.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Oh my God.
You know that this year,
I honestly had never seen it before.
Say it, Mikey.
There are actually backup Terry fireworks that they sell.
Fireworks. They produced that because that's how old that video is that they literally have fireworks with that picture of Terry.
Which is funny because I didn't even pick up on your sarcasm when you said, "What year is this?" And I wrote
2020.
And I wrote 2020.
Thank you. God Almighty.
That's fine. I'm honest to God. How old is that video?
Oh,
It's got to be a couple years, few years. Has to be. Has to be one of the. And by the
no
way,
less
has
than
to
3.
be. No, yeah, somewhere around a few, I would say. And one of the, by far, the most circulated videos, whether it's July 4th or not, that one's there. So I'm really surprised that you haven't seen it, and that's kind of funny.
I
And
never saw it.
I kind of thought, I figured,
Did you
why?
think it was funny, dude? Did you like it?
Yeah, I was dying. That was really funny. I was like, "Oh my god, I shared it with like 40 people."
Oh.
So now I feel even dumber.
That's great. And you should, because the reason why
everyone hates me now. They're like, what the hell is wrong with him?
Knox has
Let
his
me
finger on the
find-
pulse of pop culture.
it's like, I think Mikey wrote in the group chat, Knox has breaking news. Yes, he does. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Because that one is so listen, it's a great video and it's worth a share, but it has been so circulated, like Mikey said, to the point where they made fireworks this year with him on it. It's called, I think they're called Backup Terry.
There's the guy in the wheelchair with his hand on a little joystick on the.
I don't think the actual
picture.
guy is on it. I think it's just a
No,
picture
it's
of a
not.
wheelchair.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
And I wonder if those are real, because I was thinking they really would be worth buying.
Yeah, that was a great firework. I mean, I like that thing. That was a good one.
Speaking of that, did you guys light off any fireworks?
Didn't have to. The whole
saw
neighborhood
it.
did.
Yeah, I
Man,
saw you.
that
sitting
does
on
no
the porch.
justice.
Yeah.
You see how
No
big
justice.
you see how big those fireworks were? The guy,
they were
it went on for
huge.
2 hours non-stop. I mean,
That's
2
gotta be a couple.
hours.
That's got to be a couple grand.
I think
Did
he usually
you
spends about $6,000 on fireworks.
Speaking of breaking news, did you guys see where in Los Angeles they made a really big deal about no fireworks this year, and then there's helicopter shots, out over the city, and it's like not a square inch of the video that there's not a firework popping off. That was
From
their
the people doing it.
Yeah, that was like their retaliation, like F you. And it happened somewhere else too. I know New York is terrible for it. As a matter of fact, and this is what's so funny. Listen, we live in the South. Fireworks are readily available. North Carolina, they are, but they're really bad. By the way, but here we've got the good ones to the point where there are mortar balls.
Oh, we got the good ones now.
Oh, do you?
Well, no, but
Legally or
no, illegally, but
yeah, of course. But you can go in and buy a whole thing of mortars from a center aisle in Walmart here in South Carolina.
I remember when I was
Wow.
a kid, like you go into any store, like a Scotchman or something, there'd be fireworks all over the place, real fireworks, like bottle rockets and
the
stuff
good
at the
ones.
checkout.
Yeah,
That was the case in West Virginia too, and they
were everywhere.
I've got the fuseless firecrackers. You ever remember the bacon snaps? You ever heard it?
No, what do they do?
They
Bacon snaps.
think of a bang
Bacon
snap,
snaps.
think about the little white ones that you had when
Things
you were
throw
a kid.
around the poppers.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah,
these
poppers.
are full-on firecrackers, and you throw them. This is how powerful they are. I threw one in the kitchen in the restaurant I worked at, just trying to be funny, and I threw it at the wall to scare the guys behind the line, and it took a chunk out of the drywall and almost lit on fire.
oh my god.
So that's how
I've never heard
for
of those.
$3 a box.
Oh, that's
$3 a
great.
box, and they're definitely and they're stored in the sawdust, just like the little paper ones. Only
Oh,
these
wow.
could, like, if you have it like in your pocket and you fell off your bike,
Nah,
it would like blow your leg off.
Yeah, I've never seen those.
Oh, that's great.
Crazy.
So,
Hi,
did
Nick.
you get in any trouble,
Welcome.
by the way, Knox, at work, throwing an explosive into the wall? Did you get any
They
kind
never
of-
saw it, and the owners never saw it. The chef thought it was hilarious, so I was okay. But
You're in
but the
this.
owners of the building never noticed it. I saw it every day I went in to go run food.
and you laughed to
I
yourself.
laughed / got anxious because I didn't want to get fired over the hole in the wall. Like every time I walked in.
Should have
Thank you,
been.
Bishop.
Look at that. Look what Bish just did. Knitted something for you.
Just imagine.
Can you make it talk, Bish?
No, come back, Bish, because we've got Mike. We want to talk to him.
I know,
That's
I know.
the whole reason to come on. Okay, just making sure.
Morph back through the wall.
Yeah, morph. Let's see it. Let's see the creepy morph. It's coming.
From
How's my
nowhere.
feed, by the way? Am I breaking up or is it staying intact?
How's
Out of
my feed,
nowhere,
bro?
Bishop
You
appears.
sound fine.
You
All right,
sound
thank
great
you.
and look
Because
better.
you guys are all garbled tonight, but that's just my internet, I think.
That's you then.
Probably.
That's you.
Yeah.
That's you.
We sound great.
Yeah, we all sound fantastic. And time to welcome Mike Herman. How are you, sir? Welcome to the Credence and Bishop Show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on. We certainly appreciate it. And we are definitely looking forward to this and we have a little bit of a story to tell you too about an arcade machine.
Yeah. And Bishop was kind of upset. Bishop got up with me. He's like, I'm trying to buy this game. Where's it at? I was like, dude, it's not out yet. He's like, oh my God, I really want to play this game, especially before the interview. I really want to play this a lot.
Yeah, I kept checking. I found out about the game months ago, right? And I keep checking. And then Mikey told us that we're going to have you on. And I was super excited. I was like, oh, great. And then I looked, I was like, oh, man, it's not out yet. It says July. So, it's the beginning of July. So I'm looking forward to do you have a release date yet?
It's actually in August now.
Okay.
Due to, the ongoing world climate right now. And just stuff that took a little longer, even regardless of that, than we wanted it to. We don't want to rush it out.
Right.
So we definitely, quality's of utmost importance, especially, due to the rushed out wrestling games of late. So we definitely want to make sure the game's finished and everyone has the best experience that they can.
Now, with this game, you guys are adding stuff all the time. It seems every time I see something else is being added. There's another character being added. This game might not never come out because you're constantly adding things. Is there going to be a point we're going to stop, or is there some more still coming before this is released? Is there going to be more?
We definitely haven't shown everything that's in the game, but we're not like the launch roster set, and then we have our first DLC, which will be free. In Chris Bay, who's now signed with Impact Wrestling. So
nice.
Yeah, we have one more stage that we're completing behind the scenes now that we haven't really revealed anything on. For the most part, we're pretty much done though. Just because we show something isn't necessarily mean we're adding it. We had a lot of stuff already in the works and done, and we just hadn't shown it yet.
I have a question.
Yep.
So you know how way back in the day with NBA Jam, you could unlock different people that were like crazy. Are there going to be characters in this game where you can be like Donald Trump or someone like that and be like a normal person and just have crazy powers or something?
We don't have too many in this day and age. The thing that scares me the most is like licensing and not having permission. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think some of that stuff might not have flown. Like I remember Matt Mania was a game. The same creators of WrestleFest actually made Matt Mania before that. They had like Darth Vader in the audience and Princess Leia. And I think if that came out today, Disney would sue them.
Yeah,
that would, not
definitely.
Unfortunately, some stuff, we definitely have some surprises in store, but we've reached out to those people ahead of time to make cameos.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you were talking about WrestleFest. Now, WrestleFest, this is indirectly, you would say, kind of a sequel to WrestleFest? Or how
no,
would
it's the official.
It's official.
Yeah. So
awesome.
So the quick version of this. So Technos of Japan made WrestleFest along with Tag Team Wrestling, which was an early '80s arcade game. WWF Superstars and Matt Mania and WWF WrestleFest. They went bankrupt after WrestleFest. I think that might have been the last game they made, or one of the last that they made. The IP was bought by one company, and then Arc System Works, who makes a bunch of fighting games.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Blaze Blue. They also put out that River City Girls game as well. They own Double Dragon. That's part of the licensing as well now.
Yeah.
So that company owns the whole Technos library. So we had a licensing agreement with them. One to get Matt Mania DLC, which was another favorite arcade game of mine when I was younger. And then we got it for a marketing reason, just to be able to call ourselves the official sequel to WrestleFest. So we're really trying to carry on the kind of that Technos of Japan torch of all those great 2D wrestling games that they put out in the 80s and 90s. And we're kind of just want to keep that going.
Do you have a stand-up WrestleFest at your home right now? Do you have?
I do not. I have emulators, and actually behind me is a Retromania arcade game.
Wow.
Which is it's an At Games Legends Ultimate that we rebranded Retromania. But we're actually in the process of designing an actual Retromania legit arcade machine. And we're working on somebody I know is opening up a barcade, so it's going to be in a barcade, an actual Retromania wrestling machine.
That's awesome. that cabinet you speak of behind you,
yep.
I actually owned for about a week.
We
brand
had,
new in the box.
Here's something very.
The one that he's got. I'm not talking about the one that we got a long time ago.
Right. The one we had a long time ago. Now, there's a great story where we decided we were going. This is about when we were on terrestrial radio. We decided we were going to give away some tickets, and we basically had people call and say what they would give us for them. So we'd be like a barter kind of thing. And somebody traded us for some tickets. We had a stand-up WrestleFest machine.
Awesome.
I had it for a while.
It was in very, very good condition.
It was in really good condition. Very impressive. Worked perfectly. And then one day Creed decided he was going to vacuum in that room.
While it was on.
While it was on.
Sitting on carpet.
And
I learned a lesson
and it was over with. It was dead. He killed it.
Yeah, I learned a lesson that day. I had no idea. Well, that's why you don't put them on carpet, and that's why you don't.
I had no idea that could do that. Weren't all our old arcades in carpeting? On carpet?
Well, the thing was
not real carpeting.
The static electricity of those old and the old monitors had something to do with it. I did check into it. There would have had to have been so much replaced on that thing.
Right.
Just the monitor alone was
such a great game, though. It still holds up.
Love that.
It absolutely was.
Me and Bishop especially are huge wrestling fans, always have been since we were kids. And I remember the thrill I had when I got my NES and was able to play pro wrestling on there. Yep. And it was just such a thing, because I'd watch wrestling, AWA wrestling and NWA and all that kind of stuff. But once you were able to actually play wrestling finally without just the figures, it was such an experience.
Oh, yeah.
And you fondly remember all those things. And for you to be able to do this now has to be like a dream come true. You're living the dream at this point, right?
Yeah, it is. Like this is I always wanted to make a video game. I started I had an Atari 800 computer that I would program on, and it was just like fireworks at the time. And my career, actually, I went to college to be an accountant. So somewhere I got derailed. I eventually went back and got my master's in software engineering. So I've been developing applications, but mostly accounting and finance software for the past 20 years. And eventually I was like, well, it's now or never. I'm still waiting for somebody to make a good 2D wrestling game, an arcade game that I want to play. And no one would do it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it myself. And same with you. I grew up watching wrestling and playing my NES was the biggest, I actually had tag team wrestling, which wasn't as good as pro wrestling, but Toys R Us didn't have any pro wrestling when I went. So I took what I could get because I didn't want to wait. I'm very impatient. So, but yeah, it's just two of my favorite things. And I decided, you know what, let's do it. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time? Probably Magnum TA, actually. Oh, wow. So, and the reason he was the guy when I first started watching, the first thing I watched was NWA. After that, I discovered WWF and everything else, AWA. But NWA was the first thing I watched, and I loved Magnum TA. I still remember him winning the U.S. title for the first time. His best of 7 with Nikita Koloff, and a bunch of. And I was crushed when he couldn't wrestle anymore. But I always loved him, and I hope. Right now, there's some licensing issues, but my goal is to get him in Retromania at some point. We interviewed him one time years ago. We called him up. If you guys remember, he was the guy who, hey guys, let me call you right back. The plumber's here. My toilet's all backed up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, we interviewed him for, they were having NWA, fan fest kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then we did the interview with him whenever he had the toilet back up. And then, it was like 2 months afterwards. We go to the thing with some fans, and he's like, "Oh, hey, honey, these are the guys that talked to me when the toilet was backed up." So clearly, it was a big to do in the TA household that he was being bothered by some fanboys on his day he was trying to get his toilet fixed.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
and he's a guy who had, I mean, his upside was limitless.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was just getting started. He would have been way up there with the echelon of big names. So how did you go about deciding and finding out who you could get to be in this game?
Yeah, so it was tough. Initially, I was going to do YouTubers, actually. I just didn't know what it would take to go after real wrestlers. I'd never done a licensing deal like that before. And eventually I figured, you know what, let me at least try and see how hard it is to contact these guys. So I tracked down Animal first, who actually owns the rights to both him and Hawk and the
Wow.
Road Warriors name and everything. And it pretty easily, I was able to get him signed. And then the best thing I did after that was I looked on LinkedIn for somebody to help me, because I didn't really know the gaming industry outside of, playing a lot of games, obviously, but just the business side and navigating the business side of the gaming industry and things of that. So I looked on LinkedIn and I found somebody who worked at Acclaim Entertainment, who made probably one of the worst wrestling games, although this guy didn't work on it, but he worked for
one of the worst
Acclaim, and then he worked
wrestling
for WWE for 15 years. So he has both video game experience and wrestling experience and a ton of contacts. So I hired him on as a consultant, and he's helped me ever since, being able to sign guys. As far as to more directly answer your question, though, as far as who we picked and how we picked them, it was a combination of who we could get, who's available, who's not under like a Legends deal with the WWE. You'd be surprised by some of the guys that maybe didn't even wrestle in the WWE, that are still under some Legends deals, like Magnum TA was.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Who I liked, I'm from outside of Philadelphia, so I'm a big ECW fan. So, the Blue World Order and Tommy Dreamer, I wanted to get. And then the other big thing was I wanted to get guys from all eras. That was one of the things early on. I wasn't really sure which direction I go. Originally, it might have been all NWA guys. And then I thought, well, that would be cool, but I don't want to rule anybody out because I like guys from every era. So I decided, let's see where this goes. Get a little something for everybody in the roster. We got some indies, we got some legends, we got some in between, and then hopefully we can just keep adding to the roster after that.
Yeah, the roster is very, very mixed up. It's good. I saw the Road Warriors were on there, and I was like, oh wow, the Road Warriors. How'd they get them? And then I see like the Blue Media and stuff, and I'm like, this is really all over the place. I mean, it catches like an arcade feel, just with like how across the board the roster is. So
right,
good on you. Good on you.
Thank you.
Why no New Jack? I can't believe there's no New Jack in there. I mean,
he's
to be sure
list.
He's not under a Legends deal.
Well, he's on a list that just it's tough navigating the PR side of that a little bit. So we'll see. We want to do stuff like, assuming the game's successful, we would love to do like a hardcore DLC pack, and I think he would fit in well with that, and a bunch of other theme stuff. We want to do. There's so much more. Like even all the features we couldn't get into the initial launch because we would never come out. It would be Duke Nukem forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It would just never come out. So we had to kind of draw a line in the sand at some point. And we definitely went by that sand. We crossed the line multiple times. At this point, though, we got to get the game out.
Okay, so entrance music. Is there any kind of real entrance music? Did you do like Paul Heyman used to and just steal people's music and put it up no matter what?
Yeah.
Just never pay a dime.
That question earlier you guys asked about, getting cameos of people in. Unfortunately, that doesn't fly in 2020. So,
you don't want to get sued?
We have custom music for each of the wrestlers. We did look into licensing it, and I'd never done that before. I was surprised how much licensed music really costs to get in. So there's a couple people I want to get in for DLC that I might be willing to spend the licensing for some real iconic music that I would love to get in there. But we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, see, I was a huge ECW fan. I know Bishop was too. And I miss that. I miss that genre, that whole, atmosphere of just not giving a shit about nothing and just getting out there to perform and enjoying it, and letting guys get out there and just go. Do you feel like maybe AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, one of those are the companies who can kind of carry that torch a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's one, it's great to have all those companies out here now. More competition's better for everybody. I don't know. I think you're never going to be able to recreate that, though. Those guys were nuts. You know what I mean? And Tommy Dreamer will be the first one to tell you that. The stuff they did is, some of the stuff can never be done again. I mean, they crucified somebody.
Yeah, and ruined their chances of ever signing Kurt Angle. So, I mean, all in one night, they were able to piss everybody off. And I believe Raven there's another guy, Raven. Is Raven under a Legends contract?
No, he is not.
That's a gimme. Raven Dreamer. I mean, come on. It's
tough to decide who. So all these names are great. And like I said, the best tweet I ever got was, hey, you should, or a DM on Twitter, you should add, and then it listed 100 names and then said thanks.
No problem. I'll get that done tomorrow.
It's funny, the thing is, I agree with that. It's so tough to rule people out because, like, I could add this, I could have this guy, I gotta have this guy. And I remember there's a game called Fire Pro Wrestling that I played a ton of when it was on the Sega Saturn. It was called 6-Man Scramble, and at the time, you had the Saturn had a cartridge for a memory card, and you could only fit so many wrestlers on there. So you could only create, in their creator wrestler, you could only create, like, I think it was 64 different wrestlers. And I remember literally making a list on a piece of paper of who I wanted to create. And I need to have this guy. Who can I take off? And I got to have this guy. And who can I take off? So just so many guys I hope I get a chance to add to the game. And that's why we're really focusing on gameplay right out of the bat. Because I feel if we can make a fun wrestling game that people want to play, and even if you're not a huge wrestling fan, just the easy pick up and play arcade game with cool looking characters that do some cool moves. You don't have to be the biggest wrestling fan to play it and to have fun with it. So that's the goal. And then I hope to add all 100 of those guys.
Will you have Creator Wrestler on here?
Not at launch. It's something we'll look at into the future for sure. But in order to do that, it requires so many additional animations that we'd have to create. That it would be tough to do.
I think that's one really cool thing about the day and age that we're in now is that, it used to be you put something out, that's the way it's going to be. Now you can go in and you can improve, you can continue. Right. And obviously the money afterwards is great as well, continuing. But it's really neat because you can add so much after the fact and it just becomes a whole different animal at some point. I love that, though. I love that about video games nowadays.
Yeah, it's great. And, and that's one thing. We're not going to be a game that comes out every year, right? So we definitely want to take advantage of exactly what you just said and keep building on what we're putting out there and growing the game and keep getting to a new audience.
Well, think about this. You think back to some games, of the past that we used to play on NES or any of those. Imagine if you were able to go back and just start, adding things to them where they could have ended up. You know what I mean? Some of the most iconic games, Yeah. So it's really neat. It's one thing about technology that I really like, except for the people that are real shady about it and give you like that much for the game with the game. You know what I mean?
Everything happens. Pay to unlock. Yeah.
Yep. It's a lot of that. Oh, the hotline I see.
Hotline is ringing. Let's see who's on the hotline, Bish. Over there. Let's see what's going on.
Anybody on the hotline?
There it looks like Magnum TA is on the hotline. Hey, Magnum. How you doing, brother?
Hey, guys.
Perfect. Hey, how's it going? You doing all right? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Hey, listen, Mike, thank you so much for being a fan. I appreciate it, sir.
I'm in awe. I don't know what to say. I'm meeting my hero here.
Well, listen, these guys told me, they said, hey, thank you. Thank you. Well, you like this thing, Creed?
Oh, I do. Very jealous. Yeah, no, it's a beauty.
Yeah. Guess what? Don't have to wear a mask with this stash, brother.
That's going to catch everything going in and out.
Everything gets in here. Everything gets out. Listen, Mike. Once I get off this Legends thing, though, listen, I would love to be on the game. but I just want to run a few names by a few buddies of mine. Maybe we could get the ball rolling to get them on the game too. Okay.
All right.
It's all or nothing. It's me and all of them. Okay. Here we go. The missing link. What do you think about that?
It's a great name.
Yeah. Great name.
No, it's a great. He would be a great character in the game for sure.
Okay. All right. All right. Check one. All right. I'll give him a call. All right. Check two. Here we go. What about all the Von Erichs, except for the one that didn't wear shoes? What about that guy? I can't remember which one that was.
Was that Kevin?
I think that was Kevin.
Yeah, all of them but Kevin.
No Kevin.
So
Kevin.
we actually reached out to the Von Erichs. We're waiting to hear back.
Well, hey, check your voicemail.
If you can make that happen, Magnum, that would be great.
Check your voicemail. All right, how about this? Nikita Koloff.
Your fax machine. He's gonna send you a fax.
Yeah, check your fax machine. Check your fax machine, brother.
Nikita Koloff, done.
Done. Okay. All right. All right.
He's in the
right.
game.
Well, he's in the game.
Yes.
Woo! What is he talking about? He called me. He said, "Hey, talk to Mike. Get me in this game." All right. Well, I guess he made me look out to be a fool. Anyway. All right. What about Knobs, but not the other nasty boy?
But not SAG.
No, never liked him.
How are you going to do the pit stop?
Well, well, good question. All right, put him in, but I don't like it. All right. Few more.
Out.
Here we go.
Take a breath, Knox. He's gonna pass out.
Could there? You said there's going to be packages. Is there going to be a Texas cowbell match? Cowbell match is what I'm going to say.
Not currently. There's no Texas cowbell match in there yet.
Okay. All right. All right.
May I ask what a Texas cowboy match is?
Cowbell.
Cowbell.
Where they'll have a rope, and they'll attach to the ends of the rope with a cowbell. And if you're an efficient wrestler like a Dusty Rhodes or something, you'll take that cowbell and you'll just twist it into the guy's forehead till he splits open like a watermelon and bleeds everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Beat him from pillar to post.
Beautiful.
That's just how it goes.
Sorry,
now,
Magnum. I was just wondering.
Magnum, are you okay? Anything else you wanted to throw in there? Or are you calling it a night? How's the toilet?
No, well, the toilet's good. I appreciate you asking about that. Appreciate it. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. That I'm thinking off the top of my head. That's all the guys I can think of right now that wanted to get on this game. But all right, well, Mike. Hey, thank you. Hey, Mike, and seriously, love the game. Can't wait for it to come out. My grandson's got a Switch, and we're ready to play it.
Awesome. Thanks, Magnum. It was
all right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks,
no, thank you. Bye.
What a guy taking his time.
Beautiful mustache, though.
Very important. Will anything be like exclusive only on PlayStation, only on Switch or whatever? Is it going to be exactly the same game across the board?
Yeah, as of right now, we had an idea for something probably exclusive that would have been to Nintendo. We're and I'll mention it here. We're trying to get them to let us use pro wrestling guys.
Ooh, Starman.
Yeah, so we got them. We talked to somebody in the U.S. They were going to run it by Japan, and then COVID hit, and we haven't really heard back from them. So I would love to, and I'm assuming they wouldn't let us put them on other consoles. So that might be something exclusive to the Switch if we can ever get it done.
Now, as far as the music, I know iconically every time I hear pro wrestler music, I know it's pro wrestling. Is there any kind of, when you went to select the music for this game, in the in-game music, was there anything in particular you wanted to go for? Is it heavy? Is it kind of just an old time rock? Or does it depend on the arena? How does that work out?
There's a bunch of different tracks in it, and it's more of a rock tone. It's not completely retro like chiptune music, but it's definitely video game music, so to speak. So we didn't take it all the way back to like 16-bit era music. We updated it a little bit, but it's definitely a rock feel. But I know I'm a big fan of hip hop too, and I had Mega Ran is an artist who remixes video game music. And on a trailer on our website, he remixed the original WrestleFest theme that played at the beginning of it. If you guys had the arcade game, you know it when you heard it, when the stars would pass through and it was that drum beat that would come in. So he remixed the music for the original tracked mode in WrestleFest and made a song about it for us, which was awesome.
That's
Most
hilarious.
important question right now. What's the chances of you getting Tommy Dreamer to come on and talk to us about this game? Because I'm a huge Tommy Dreamer mark, and my God, it would just put over this game so much if you could just tell him, look, take a little time out your day. Raven will probably call in and talk to him. If that seals the deal, we can get that to happen.
Have you never been able to get him, Mikey?
No, I mean, we've had Edge, we've had, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley like 5 times. We've had everybody you can think of. AJ Styles. We used to run through the roster on TNA, but Tommy Dreamer, those old ECW guys, other than Shane Douglas, that's the only guy I've ever had on from ECW.
I mean, I can definitely ask.
There you go. Well, you know that's better than what my wife promises me. So I mean, I'll take that with a lot. That means a whole lot.
Trying to book interviews through live. I love that.
You act like I was asking for free games or something. I mean, give me back 6 games.
That's next. That's in the email.
Yeah, exactly. He won't say that one. He'll message it. He'll slide into your DMs.
Yeah, I'll be like, dearest Mike, damn boy, you were good on that show. Do you remember? I don't know if anybody else ever played it, but I did. The Tecmo had made a wrestling game. It was like Tecmo Wrestling, World Wrestling or something. Like that. Oh my God. I love that just simply because of the cut screens.
Yep.
Are there any cut screens in this game?
The giant swing, I remember specifically.
Yeah. It just meant so much more to like, oh, I got the cut screen to come on. I did it right. Any cut screens in this game or anything like that? Or is there any cut screens before guys come into the ring?
Yeah, so we really paid tribute to WrestleFest, and there's some other of the 16-bit era video games that we kind of pay tribute to as well. But one of the things is WrestleFest, whenever you came into the ring during the Royal Rumble, a little promo would pop up in screen, and we do that. We have similar like promos going on in our 10 pounds of gold mode, which is the NWA championship mode, where you'll go through some Nick Aldis stuff will come up when you play through that. And then we have a full-fledged story mode that the original WrestleFest didn't have. So a story mode you play as Johnny Retro, who may be otherwise known as John Morrison currently in the WWE. He's Johnny Retro in our game.
I'm very surprised he's still in the game. I'm surprised y'all were.
Oh yeah, we signed him well before he went back. So you play him coming off an injury, and you're taken through a story, and you meet all the different characters in the game, and it's a kind of like a choose your own adventure where there are a couple different paths in the story as well.
I actually really enjoy story mode, and this is so stupid, but I used to play that theme park game.
Oh yeah,
and the almost the impossible challenges, where they would give you. I used to play the crap out of that. I love story modes on games, though.
Yeah, so this isn't like Skyrim or anything like that, but it's definitely a fun little story. We had an author write it, who writes he teaches a course in video game dialogue and video game stories. For a university, and he's a big wrestling fan, so he did a really good job on the story.
Russell Smith wants to know favorite wrestling game from the 80s. The number one.
Other than WrestleFest. We know you love WrestleFest. You're sleeping WrestleFest tonight.
If you take WrestleFest out of it.
Yeah, WrestleFest has passed away. Who you sleeping with tonight?
And it's limited to the 80s. Probably Matt Mania, that arcade game, Matt Mania. It was kind of pro wrestling on steroids.
I remember seeing it at arcade. I got to play it a few times here and there because back then going to the arcade was a big deal.
Right.
That was a Friday night thing. You were getting dropped off at the arcade for about a couple hours. You had $10, maybe $20 if you're lucky in your pocket, and you would just go and spend time playing games. And people just don't understand that anymore. It's just not thinking. I show my age now, but
I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
A lot of fun. It means a whole lot. Now, when this game does come out, will there be hard copies or is this going to be strictly download? Can you get your hands on it?
So right now it's digital only, but we are in talks with a couple different companies. So I'm pretty confident there will be a physical release at some point. I don't have anything definitely in writing yet, but we are talking, and there's a couple companies interested in doing it. So I would be surprised actually if there isn't a physical release. It'll definitely be after we launch the digital, though.
Okay, so go ahead, Bish.
No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I like
all I was
No,
saying.
you go.
Okay.
No.
No, you go.
Knox, you go.
You go.
All right, fine. If I had to take you down to a date, what is a tentative date for the release? Tentative.
August.
I thought you meant like if you were gonna go on a date.
You want
like,
a number? He just said August. I mean,
August.
August
like
1st through the
August
whatever.
31st.
There you go.
There we go.
and by when could he get a game to preview before it comes out?
That's what he's asking.
And perhaps another Switch.
By the way, is there any way me and Bishop could commentate? We'll come out on our own dime, record for you. Go ahead and do like a backyard wrestling thing. Me and Bishop were pretty big in backyard wrestling at one point.
There
in
you
time.
go. Backyard.
Yeah.
Did you guys wrestle?
Bishop did a little bit.
I did, yeah.
Bishop was.
I actually got trained a little bit by Ivan Koloff, and I used to like put up rings and stuff when I was a kid. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I totally wanted to go do it, but then I realized like, oh wait, I don't have any money or health insurance. Maybe I shouldn't become a wrestler. Maybe I should learn how to do something. Yeah, stay a fan. And it was awesome. And we used to. Mikey was our commentator.
That was basically like the Joey Styles of the group. Yeah. That's where I got the Mikey Mayhem name from. So
I was still in high school, and we would film them and like edit them on two VHS.
You hook up two VCRs to edit.
Two VCRs to edit. We would edit it, and then like I would take them to school and like rent them out to people and like sell them to people and stuff. And
Hustling.
Yeah, back in the day, I mean, it was like $600-700 we made like doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. So
that was over 20 years ago. Yeah, this was UCW, Underground Championship Wrestling. We had a pay-per-view called Trailer Park Massacre. It happened in a trailer park.
Pay-per-view.
Hey, there was people coming and sitting around outside in the trailer park to watch. I mean,
an expansion pack here.
yeah,
Right.
Backyard wrestling was great.
You have to put Mikey and Bish into the game now. They run out and they're
Back.
The thing was like, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to circle back real quick to something that you had asked, Bish, about the Mike had said it's one of the worst games, wrestling games from Acclaim. Which one was that?
It was WrestleMania. It was the first one that came out.
It wasn't even like they weren't even really wrestling.
Yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow could do a cartwheel, which was cool, but it was funny. Like a little cross would bounce across the screen, and if you picked it up with Hulk Hogan, you get a power up.
And the big foot for Andre the Giant. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Garbage. They were dancing around the ring, basically.
Yeah, it was funny that the pro wrestling came out really early on the NES, and nothing really surpassed it on that system.
Yeah, it's unreal when you think back about those kinds of things because, you had those titles that are so memorable, but there were so many bad wrestling games. I mean, garbage. Me and Bishop were only excited once we had, I think it was on the Nintendo 64, and we had, we'd play, what was it? WCW NWO Tour, World Tour. And that was actually a decent game. They
had a bunch of good ones on the N64.
So, I mean,
No Mercy and Revenge, or not Revenge. NWO versus WCW, I think, was another good one.
So, I mean,
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Speaking of circling back, I just wanted to get back and really commend you and say that that's awesome and inspiring that you just said, forget about accounting. I'm going to go make what I want to make besides reports. I'm going to make a video game. That's commendable right there. But my question now is, did a lot of, was there fear involved with that? And like, was your wife or anyone telling you that you couldn't do it and you did it anyway?
No, I mean, definitely, there was definitely a little bit of fear, but I didn't like. I co-own another business, so that didn't go anywhere. So I'm basically working two full-time jobs right now. So it's tough, but I'd say I'm more from the design of the game and management of the game more than I'm not coding it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I hired someone much better in game programming than myself to do that. But I've been told that I am the worst person to code for because I don't miss anything. And I think that's because WrestleFest is the game I love. And I want to play a really good wrestling game that's similar to WrestleFest, but takes it to the next level. And I know exactly what I want. I wrote the design document myself. So I did have to pitch it to my wife, though, because it was a decent amount of money to invest in getting this done. So I definitely had to get her buy off in the whole thing as well.
Sure. But still, very cool that you just did it. Sorry, Mikey. But yeah, awesome.
By the way, see that room he's sleeping? That's where he sleeps now since started the game.
Until it's finished and it's out.
So she makes her money back. He's sleeping in that room right there.
So that ROI is
the only problem she's had with it, our team, it consists of people from 5 different continents. So
time
we're
zones
in every time zone, you know. So I had a call a couple weeks ago with my lead programmer. Actually works. He's American, but he works out of Vietnam because he has family there. And I was kind of loud at like 2 a.m. talking to him. I didn't realize it because I was just up. And she's like, you could have been a little quieter last night. Blah blah blah. But yeah, it's definitely sleep has had to take a back seat a little bit just because I have a couple people in Australia, New Zealand, and Eastern Asia, which is the toughest part because they're the complete opposite as far as time zones as go.
Okay, one last thing before we let you go. I saw that you have, so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Zack Ryder and Curtis Hawkins are now in the game. Why aren't Gallows and Anderson in the game? I mean, come on. They were released earlier than them. Why couldn't you get them? That's a big name, man. Come on.
Never say never. Never say never. I mean, I think, I was a big fan of Zach, or now, Matt Cardona, back when, he started his own YouTube and really got himself over. One of the things, I'll say, not only being fans of both him and Brian Myers, who's Kurt, but, I like the kind of synergies with what they're doing in their podcast world as far as the retro wrestling figures and stuff that they collect. So I thought that it would be a good synergy with their current audience that we could kind of latch onto as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one number really made sense, to me, and that's like the 2 of them combined have like almost 3 million followers on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a good number.
That part of it was a marketing move on my part. Just, they have a big audience, and I think a lot of their audience will be interested in what we're doing. And I think, we were able to work out a deal, and I think it just made sense. I was fans of theirs, and they had that big audience, so it was just perfect for us.
And they are legitimate wrestling fans. They love the action figures. If I ever can get one of them on the show, I've got a closet full of wrestling figures that I can pull out that I've never opened that maybe they'd be interested in. I could slide them their way, possibly for, they get
have you seen their collections?
They have a very vast collection. I watch their figure hunts all the time. And these guys are spending insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. The one I think it was Greg the Hammer Valentine, Rhythm and Blues, he spent some ridiculous amount of money on.
Yeah. I mean, he's not afraid to do it. Maybe he should slow down until he's, jumped on somewhere else now. Just pump the brakes a little bit. Don't be spending all that money. But Mike, it's been a great having you on. I want to have you on again when you decide when you're going to release the game, because we need to talk about this. Make sure you get up with Tommy. Say, hey, look, Mikey. Here's Mikey. Get up with put the 2 of us together.
I'm starting to think this is the only reason I was invited on this show.
Yeah, see how that
We're
works?
not even recording this. We're not even going to put it out anywhere.
This is all not real. It's just a pitch to get him on the air.
See what I can sell you. Sell you on this idea.
Yeah, well, I got to meet Magnum, so it was worth it.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
Hey, we make dreams come true, Mike. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm super excited for the game. I can't wait for it to come out. One thing that we didn't touch on is all the different like arenas and stuff. I love the old school NWA arena that you got with the like TV set in the back. That's hilarious. So, just looking forward to it, man. You know, so
big fans. Big fans.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother. And everybody will put all the links down in the description in case you want to check out what's going on with Retromania Wrestling. If you love wrestling, if you love old school retro games, this is for you. Something to be excited about. Mike, thank you again. And we'll be talking.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Retromania Wrestling, and you can find it at retromaniawrestling.com. Mike Herman, thanks again so much, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Awesome. Well,
I look forward to it whenever it comes out because, Mikey, you have a Switch.
Yeah, we're going to be fighting.
Yeah,
we're going to be kicking ass and taking names.
No, I love that. Yeah.
Maybe Denny's will be selling Switches out.
6 for 12.
You're not going to sell me on buying a Switch.
Just wait. Me and Bishop will be. Remember how great the Mario Kart thing went over?
Yeah.
Me and Bishop are going to be doing that this time.
I might get one.
Wrestling.
Oh, dude. I mean, besides the PlayStation VR, I think the Switch for me is the funnest.
What is it about the Switch? Tell me. I don't. I guess I don't get it. Maybe there's something I don't.
Well, for one. All right. Here we go.
Yeah. Give me your pitch. Give me your best pitch.
Okay. Which is funny. Give me your best pitch. I was thinking the other day, like jobs I didn't get that I tried to get. Did I ever tell you guys when I tried to get hired at Verizon?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell you that real quick.
Selling phones or working for like the company?
Working for the call center, right? So I filled out the application. I got like through the first part, right? So I go and I show up and I do all the tests and I pass all the tests. You know, did I pass it barely or did I really pass it with flying colors? Do I tell everyone that bullshit? So I go in for a second interview. My second interview is a face-to-face. So I go in and I'm talking with the lady, blah, 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 right? So me being naive, I thought that, you know, the job description and all the stuff that all the tests that I did, testing and stuff, was all about like customer service and basically, you know, de-escalating situations and fixing the problem and this and that, blah, blah, blah. So when I get the face-to-face interview, the lady's talking and, you know, I'm doing okay, it's whatever. And she's like, you know, she starts explaining the job. She's like, well, do you know what the job is? I'm like, yeah, it's, you know, blah, blah, you know. And she's like, yeah, it's that, but also it's a sales position, but not really. It's, you know, when someone calls in with a problem, we want to fix their problem.
But we also on something, yeah.
Right. So now, dude, I hate doing sales. I've never done sales. I don't like the thought of it. So now I'm like, oh God, I don't, you know, like in my head, I'm like, how am I going to fix someone's problem and then say, hey, by the way, I know our you had a shitty time, but how about if you pay some more money? So finally, she's like, "We're gonna do a little bit of an act out, a little
role play during the interview. I love it.
We're gonna do a role play," and she's like, "I want you to try to sell me an item or a service," and I was like, "Okay." So she's like, "Do you know what service or item?" And all I could think about was tablet. So I was like, yeah, I got a tablet not long ago. She's like, all right, perfect. In this call, in this role play, I want you to try to sell me a tablet because we actually have a tablet that just come out through Verizon. I was like, okay. So we do the role play, and I'm just I'm trying to like fix the problem, but then the fixing the problem was this big, and selling was this big. Was this big of the thing. So as I'm talking, I'm just like, I just feel like I'm shrinking. Like I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get out. I just want to leave. I just want to get up and be like, it was a good try, but this is not for me. And I'm trying to think exactly what my final words were. I'm trying to think because in the car it made me laugh so hard I can't remember exactly what the final thing I said is. She just looks at me and she goes, okay, how do you think that went? And I said, probably not so good. She's like, okay, all right. And she asked me a few like extra bullshit questions. And she's like, all right, well, we'll get back in touch with you. But when she said, how do you think that went? And I was like, probably not too good. Like, I knew, dude, as I was talking.
You seen the disappointment in her face.
Oh, I was striking out, like trying to sell. She was giving me pushback as far as like, buying this fake tablet that, so horrible pitch. But here goes my pitch for the Twitch.
For the Switch.
In the Twitch, in Switch.
And everybody on Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah. You can put it on Twitch.
And Nick, yes, I absolutely remember that. We rented it. If I'm not mistaken, it was either from Pick a Flick or that one by Tops. I don't remember.
Pick a Flick.
Can you imagine?
What was your pitch?
Just think about back in the day. You have to go rent from like from where they rent VHS, to go rent an actual, platform to play on and then rent the games.
Yeah. Did it come in a big plastic case where it was like locked down like a prison?
Oh, yeah. Prison? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Is that Jackie? Wow, look at a Twitch. Hello.
See, I said Twitch.
Yeah, and said Twitch.
Switch and stuff like that. So that's what I said. That was the final thing I said. I said in my sales pitch to the Verizon lady, I said and stuff like that.
Nick, do you remember that was during my birthday party that year? We had a blizzard, and Steven, do you remember Sue made him go home, risk his life?
Damn it, Sue!
How dare you, Sue? Yeah, he risked his life to go over to his grandma's. That was quite a birthday bash.
You ever seen that?
Yeah, he must have made it. Anyways, all right. So your pitch for a Switch. Why would I want to keep? I want to tell you. So I own a Halo Edition Xbox, an original Xbox. And have never hooked it up. I have an Xbox 360 that I have not hooked up since I moved here. I had it hooked up at the old house. I have a Wii, actually, that Clay bought, first generation. The day was it the day it came out or the week it came out?
Okay,
and it since it still works. Still haven't hooked it up though. I think that's all I have. But I've hooked up no video games here. Can you imagine?
Well, yeah, because all your game systems went out of date 10 years ago. That's why
I love the 360 though, because back, I mean, you still walk into GameStop and still get a crap load. I'd walk in there and drop $20 on used games and walk out with a bunch of them, even ones that
big bag full. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved that. But anyway, so the Switch, other than, I will say this, us all jumping on and beating Bishop at Mario Kart would be fun. Mm-hmm. I know that would be fun. For sure, but what
we could do more stuff with it besides just the Mario Kart. I mean,
do you guys remember? We actually had a thing going for a while. It was a lot of fun at my house with the Wii. We bought like Mario Party 8, I think it was.
Yeah,
that was a fun game.
Yeah, I got the new Mario Party.
Yeah, that was fun. I could see that.
Okay, so for all the reasons you said so far, fun. Let me open you up to a whole new world, Creed.
Okay.
Of getting a Switch through Verizon Wireless.
Yeah, sell it.
I know that you had problems with your Verizon Wireless stuff like that. But right now we're offering you have all the retro games, right? Not retro games, but you have like the Mario Mario's Odyssey, which is a great game. I have that. Mario Kart.
You just download them, or how does that work?
You can download them, or you can get hard copies. You can play on your toilet. You can the whole thing comes up, right? You just put the controllers on the side, and you play like that. On the go. On the go. Mm-hmm. Also, when you get the Nintendo Online, the Switch Online, you just download a whole package of classic NES games and Super Nintendo games. Like I'm playing Zelda Link to the Past right now, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. But so, I can also find those online, just playing them on my computer also. So
Oh, okay. The guy the guy that was before the show started was complaining about his computer and not being able to play videos on YouTube.
500 games on it. No wonder.
Listen, I can do lots of stuff on that computer. It's just playing a video is terrible. You play games on there just fine, which is weird. And use emulators too, and pull a bunch
Creed.
of them. Yeah.
Do you know what the problem is with the game console? Is that it has to stay put. It has to be next to your TV. It has to be staying in one spot in your house. With the Switch, you can take that console wherever you want to go. You can add your own hand things to it, and you can play on the toilet, just like you said. So it sounds to me like we're checking all the boxes here, Creed. It sounds to me like it's time for a change in your console ownership, and it's going to be leaning towards the Switch.
Look at all this time you have on your hands, all this free time.
I do it in the next few days. Emily's gone.
System. Need a system. Don't worry, I can send you plenty of work to do.
Listen, take the Switch home with you tonight, try it out, and then tomorrow we'll talk about it.
How's that sound?
Nah.
Yeah, see, look at no.
Take your wife out for a nice dinner with the Switch, and let her hold it, and and then tomorrow we'll talk about it.
Nick, you're going to be very impressed come Wednesday with Knox. You'll be very, very impressed.
I'm already impressed. Oh, speaking of being impressed, hold on. Let me see something. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. You talk amongst yourselves.
Which, by the way, I know it's a secret, but I mean, you guys knew I was capable of that. So why is it such a big shock?
Capable of that, but
I didn't even know what you guys were talking about.
His call.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're not giving it away.
No, don't give nothing away.
Right.
Go ahead. Great.
Is it because I came to life and I wasn't asleep for once at some evening?
It was fun. What? You had a good time, didn't you?
Of course I had a good time.
It felt good, didn't it?
I'm just telling you now, it's addictive. You'll be looking for that next fix.
When we get
I do understand what you're talking about as far as like the adrenaline, and you're just trying to find the next thing. And yeah.
Start humming. Like
Wednesday we have a great one for you though, so be ready for that. It's a little long, but worth every second.
Oh yeah, what I just sent you, Creed, are some of the questions I'll be asked tomorrow night on Crooked River Radio. These are great questions, by the way. These are straight from the host.
Oh wow.
I guess she felt like
this is from the girl.
Yeah, I need these questions ahead of time, but
well, she wants to make sure you're ready.
I didn't need them. I'm ready.
She's vetting you. She's vetting you to have children.
And that is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, you'll find out my answers to questions like, "What is one thing you believe the world needs to know?"
How about, do you believe in God?
That's another one. What is something you saw with your own eyes, but still do not believe to this day?
That's a good question.
I haven't decided yet, but we'll see.
What are the odds that Melanie has been abducted by aliens?
Is that her name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Sorry, Stephanie.
Close.
What are the odds? What are the odds
tomorrow.
that Stephanie has been abducted by aliens? Can we put a bet on this, please? Because you have to find out. Like tomorrow, you have to find out.
I feel like she's the kind of person that has seen angels or something.
I bet she's been on a spaceship, and I bet that she was impregnated with an alien baby.
Oh, just wait till
really
I tell her. She'll not even sleep tomorrow night after the things I tell her.
Do you believe in other dimensions? Tell me about the reptilians. That's great.
Oh, I can't wait to tell her about reptilians.
Tell me about your thoughts of the world conspiracy theory. Is there any literature out there we should read? Because Mikey's a huge reader.
Can anyone besides me hear her saying these as you read them? Can you hear her talking when you read them?
I can hear her voice in my
here's another quick thing that we should guess about is how dolled up she's going to be tomorrow, because there has been a significant difference since we've been talking to Mike.
A lot of lip gloss going on there.
A
lot of lip gloss. She
likes
to accentuate the lips.
Have you told your wife, Mikey, Have you told
My
Mrs.
wife
Mayhem?
knows all about it. She thinks it's
Okay.
hilarious.
All right, great. What do you think about the Bible? Who do you think is our biggest threat? And the 10th question, enlighten our audience on one topic of your choice.
I can't wait.
Is this going to be a 10-hour show?
It's going to be a marathon. That's a marathon. We're 10 questions. We're talking at least 20 minutes apiece.
I'm going to be
minutes.
Oh no, this is 60 minutes. I've only allowed her 60 minutes.
Does she even get to any of those questions? Is my
No. I'm going to take off from the beginning and not shut up for 60 minutes.
So how many? So she'll get one question in asking it, and then that's it.
That's gonna be the whole show.
Yeah, that's the whole show. Just one question.
I'm gonna go from one thing to the next. I'm gonna name drop people.
I don't want to keep you, but I got 2 more questions.
2 more questions.
2 more questions.
2 more questions.
Creed, we still haven't announced the name or the time for our weekend thing.
Yeah, we haven't even discussed it. We've been so damn busy.
I know. Oh, we got somebody on the hotline.
Who dat?
Who is that?
Here's my story. It's sad but true.
Oh, here comes
What?
a
Oh yeah. Yeah.
here comes that strike.
Sorry. Ah, sorry. Stop. I thought it was just a weird. Never mind. Sorry.
Speaking of that, did you see that Charlie Daniels passed away today?
Yeah, that's sad.
And something really odd. The city of Jacksonville put up a thing saying that Charlie Daniels, he was local and played a lot of shows in Jacksonville when he first started out, and he debuted. Devil Went Down to Georgia in Jacksonville.
I didn't know that. I did see him in Jacksonville though, over in New River. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but that wasn't when he started. You already, when you saw him, he was already,
Charlie
Oh, of
Daniels.
course, that was only X.
Well, no, he's from Wilmington. So
I had no idea. No clue.
ain't that something?
Maybe that's something.
That's actually some interesting stuff. If that's true.
Jack is cool 022. Make sure you subscribe over there on the Twitch.
Well, I mean, I hope it's true. There is a thing in the Wilmington Museum that says that Charlie Daniels Band is from Wilmington. So if that's not true,
if it's
they're a bunch of goddamn liars. Then they better
goddamn liar.
I bet that giant sloth they have up in the corner isn't even real. If that's not true,
Something about Michael Jordan being from Wilmington.
lie.
Lies. Nothing but lies. Just
What do you
saying.
mean? We were in a basketball court named after him one time with the One Tree Hill people. Remember that?
Yeah.
A while ago.
Sorry about the licensed music that I just played.
What happened there?
I was gonna listen. I thought it was a karaoke track, and most of the time they can't catch those, right?
Mhm.
And I was gonna do a song. I was gonna do Grandma.
You're doing Run Around Sue?
I was gonna do a remix, Grandma Sue, that throws her grandchild in the snow because for Nick, but apparently all of the karaoke tracks want singing on it as well.
Did that might be old enough that it falls under that fair use? You never know.
You never know.
Well, I don't want to give it a try for Run Around Sue.
I looked up because I finally saw the email that they sent for the one that Bishop played while I was on vacation in Gatlinburg, and it's a nobody. But the song itself, the composer, won some awards with it. So then they decided to do it. So now they're very active. But I mean, whatever that was it wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah,
And they grabbed that right away. I mean, right away. They wanted it.
Just grabbing it pennies. I mean, it's ridiculous. You should be happy that you should. I mean, some people should be happy that your stuff is being broadcast somewhere or used.
yeah.
That's what I think. I mean, how many people are buying that? You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Yep.
Some things, I'm just saying. I understand all about music and need to make money. I get it. But when you're looking at a song like that, I don't know, just weird. We got a very busy week ahead, don't we?
Yes, we got our normal show on Wednesday. It's the Queens of Bishop show. We'll have all of our happenings with these two guys and things they've been up to. And we'll get to the mailbag and all of our usual news bits. But then on Friday, Knox, do you hear what I'm saying? On Friday,
Knox.
we have John Crowley, who actually Knox turned me on to. Knox said, check out this guy. Yeah. And I went and checked him out and booked him on the show. So he'll be coming on. He is a medium, and he's also a psychic intuitive. He's had these powers since he was born, and he's going to be able to speak to the dead Friday night.
To us, like our dead?
Good chance. Good chance.
Jeez.
So if you have any loved ones, anyone in the chat maybe wants a reading, be sure to be there Friday night.
What does he do on his lives? Does he do readings for people for free, or do you have to pay for those?
A couple of free ones. And then, shows his wares.
He's got a hell of a following. I know that much.
Yeah, he does have quite a few, especially here on Facebook. He's very popular. Yeah. And speaking of, go ahead.
Can I talk about what's happening on the 16th or ask about that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
because I caught that. Which, by the way, Mikey, great job with all the graphic designing.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Stormy.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And are we allowed to talk to her about all that stuff?
We're not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
I haven't heard.
But I think
Stormy who?
Stormy Daniels. Okay. So I think we will be able to talk about something because I touched on it with her publicist and he seemed to not have a problem. Well, I'll know more as we get closer. She is actually out doing something very cool right now. Starting the coming week. She is starting her own show where she is ghost hunting in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, I think Georgia and Kentucky.
I've got a couple stories down there for her.
When we talk to her, she'll actually be on her ghost hunting tour bus. And they said she'll have excellent Wi-Fi. So no problems with a good reception and stuff. So I was like, perfect.
I'll get ready for that.
Yeah.
Well,
so we'll see. So she's got a lot of things happening, and she's a pretty good name.
You've had her before, haven't you?
Oh,
tons of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's always been very nice.
Really nice.
Yeah.
A lot of. She actually signed a very nice. Very nice. Very sweet.
Love to go see her strip.
I bet.
Wow. She's busy looking for ghosts right now.
She's not a one-trick pony.
That's right.
Real quick, thanks again to Sarah J for coming on this past Friday. I want to thank her and her people again. We will have her on again sometime mid to late August. She'll be back again, and we'll actually be able to pick her brain longer this time. Give us a little more of a
find a night when she's not pressed for time. We could talk more Bigfoot. And again, thank you so much to Mike Herman from Retrosoft, Retromania Wrestling. Really looking forward to the game, and hopefully we'll be able to give you a review sometime in August.
Yeah, hopefully it comes out on PlayStation. Xbox One or Wii for Creed.
Mm-hmm. I don't even have an Xbox One.
Got
an original Xbox and a 360.
The big giant one that you could kill somebody with.
Yeah.
It's full of bricks.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Then there's another big interview coming up too.
July 14th, we have somebody, and I saw somebody in chat was very excited about Brent Hatley and Caitlin Hatley, formerly of course, the Bubba Love Sponge show and the Howard Stern show most recently. We're going to be talking to them about, my understanding is nothing is off limits. We'll be able to ask them anything we like. I know they've divulged a lot of stuff on their Twitch show, but like I told Creed, there's one thing to sit and tell your own story. And there's another thing where someone's asking you questions saying, whoa, stop right there. Let me ask you about this. I want you to emphasize a little more. Give me a little more information on that. So it's going to be a solid hour, I'm sure, with them. And
let me tell you, just in the things that developed on the Stern show before his departure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Daily on those groups that I'm in on Facebook, daily there is talk about those two. I mean, it's crazy, like how much they
And
have
this will-
affected the Stern Crew and
this
all
will-
of its fans.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, but I've looked. This will be their first interview
Since
outside of their own show talking about things.
Jesus.
Ooh.
So
I'm
How'd
looking
you
forward-
manage that? Was that directly through them or was that through an agent?
You paid
directly
them.
through them, and a lot of emails and a lot of sending stuff and trying over and over again, and 10-hour days of sending emails.
Persistence. Good job,
Yeah.
Mikey.
Yeah. So
I'm really looking forward to that one.
And July 20th, we're going to have Jackie St. James. Now, we had her on the show a couple times before back in the day. She was
Yeah,
the girl who
name-
told us about, she writes basically adult films for New Sensations. She was the one who told us that she first masturbated with a Ronald McDonald doll and used the nose on the Ronald McDonald doll, that was the hard part, to masturbate with. I know you remember this, Bishop.
Yes, I
Great.
remember this.
So she's going to come on. She's been real since last time we talked to her. She's like
Great.
top dog. She's pretty big now these days. And something on July 24th that I am personally excited about because I'm a fan of horror movies. I'm a fan of special effects.
I'm
I got
a fan.
A fan.
I got
I am a fan.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of special effects and horror movies. Todd Reed, who is a special effects artist, is coming on the show. He's also formerly in a lot of different bands, and me and Bishop
What
were talking off
ones?
the air. He one that I recognize, Weed Eater. And Bishop said Weed Eater. He remembers that out of Wilmington.
Yeah,
A band called-
bands?
they were like they were the second generation Charlie Daniels band. They were out of Wilmington too. They had a they were very big regionally and
Knox,
Were
can
they
you give me
good?
Dick Clark real quick? Go ahead. Let's hear your Dick Clark. It was always so good.
It was.
Let's bring in the countdown. 9, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm so happy to be here with all of you this evening to celebrate the start of a new millennium.
Very good, Knox. It got better over the last 12 years. Got really good.
Oh boy, sorry.
That was great.
But yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We're only got a couple of slots left for July, and we'll be completely booked for the month of July. Just really happy that things are going the way they are, and I couldn't do it without you guys working so hard and diligently.
no
And
problem.
It's definitely coming together. I'm very proud of everybody involved. Very proud.
Oh,
Was that a backwards? What do
you
you call that?
that was a backhanded compliment, is what he just gave us. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that was a backhanded compliment.
And you can call me Knox, but I can't get anything to play off of here. So we
Cue
have no,
the damn outro music, Creed. What's
we
the
have
matter with
no outro music tonight. So enjoy it.
I was wondering what you were doing over there. I was watching.
Yeah, it's now it's got me. It's like it's to the point where now it's just like this is weird, and I can't figure it out. You know?
Can you even cut the show off?
Oh yeah, I can cut the show off. I'm just saying, I like to be played out, if you know what I mean.
Play me out, dude.
So who's gonna beatbox or start singing or something?
Get out your John
Need
Popper
something.
harmonica and play us a tune.
Yeah, where else is the harmonica?
Do you not want to play it because you don't want to
Get another strike.
There it is.
rip off
Get
the?
There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, no, keep going. What the hell are you doing? I need music. Although we had a kazoo.
Yeah.
We'll see everybody Wednesday, 8:30 p.m.
Ah.
Yeah, nice.
It's great home.
Hey, Fish, what is the key of your harp there?
My mouth harp. This is the old standby. This is
What is the key of it though? What is the key? It'll say it right on there.
where?
The key.
Mine is a G harp. It's a G harp.
G. Harp.
Like G, that was awesome. G.
Dueling harmonicas.
Gee,
Nice
those
you-
guys can really play the harmonica.
Yeah, if only you had a tip jar.
Right.
At least you'll never go homeless. All right, seriously, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And there it is. We'll see you back here Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. See you, everybody. Thanks again.
Mic drop.